Hello, guys, and welcome to Cricket Caviar. Today we are previewing Team New Zealand, and who better to present it than our Kiwi friend Vishnu, who has also come dressed in black jersey, just like I have come. And yes, the Blackcaps always start as dark horses. Uh, Actually, that's their permanent name for every tournament, dark horses. But they always make semi-final, final. Last two times, I think they have made a semi-final, and even before that, they made semi-final, I think. So yes, that's about New Zealand. What are your initial thoughts, Vishnu, Manisha, about New Zealand?
Uh, the the best part for New Zealand is they are never under pressure when they come to ICC tournaments. No pressure, and no one has that burden that we need to perform because the country is watching. No one watches, man. There, 60 to 70%, none of them watches cricket there. So there is
Yeah.
no burden of pressure and everything like how Indian players and have. So that's the reason I think that no pressure when it comes to big tournaments. That's the reason they go and play freely with, and also they have they their minds are very good, man. Like they come with proper tactics in big
Hmm.
games, and that's why they have always bettered against India because they had always that better tactically sound. But yeah, we will see.
And also the time zone is there, so they never actually see the matches because it's past 1:30 a.m. or
Mm.
2:30 a.m. When the matches
Yeah.
are happening.
Always, man, because it has to be synchronized with Indian time. Indian
Yes,
time is Indian evening time is like almost midnight there. So,
yeah.
so
and
it
and
it is always. You know what? I've never seen IPL for like 10 to 12 years, man, because it starts around 3 in the morning. So after moving to US only, I've got chance to watch IPL games now.
and actually what you said, they have the best minds. You can see that, like, the coaching staff of IPL teams is now filled with Kiwis. Earlier we used to have Brendan
Mm,
McCullum and Mike Hesson. Now we still have Stephen
Vittori.
Fleming from such a long
Mm,
time. We have Daniel
yeah.
Vittori now. So yes, they have the best minds in terms of strategy planning. I agree with that. Yes, Manisha, what are your expectations and hopes?
Yeah. So first of all, I have to start with the way they announce their squad. It is so creative and it was so cute. They always do that. I mean, last time also in the World Cup, they had their family announcing
Yeah.
their names. And
Yeah.
this time, second, Kane is going to be the captain. I might be wrong. Is it is going to be his last T20 World Cup as a captain? Because even he's
That
also
is
kind
my
of like,
topic.
yeah.
That is my
Yeah,
headlines.
and yeah, and last but not the least, I am really done with them. Just being the top two, like defeating some very good teams, but then
Mm,
they suddenly fail. I'm really done with that. It is frustrating because either
mm.
you let other team progress, or if you are not letting them because you are so good, your mindset, your planning is so good, then perform on the finals, live the trophy. Yeah, so those are the
Yeah,
The
initial
frustrating
things.
part, yeah, I
yeah.
get you. It's a very good point because the frustrating part with New Zealand is if India doesn't win, the second best for everyone is New Zealand. Like
Hmm.
they won't say, but in inner feeling is it's New Zealand, any team. So
Hmm.
it frustrates that they never win those big games in the
Hmm.
knockouts. Yeah,
Yeah, they are the good guys of cricket. Actually, that's they always play fair, and everyone wants them to do well. But when it comes against India or Pakistan, Australia, they always crumble under that pressure.
yeah,
Okay, I'll be sharing the slides, Vishnu, which you have
yeah,
made for us. Let's look at the preview for yeah, the slides. Okay, so this is Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D. I think we have discussed this during India-Pakistan preview.
yeah.
So, this is the first round, but except for Group D, we all have clear-cut, one or two making out of. Only thing actually, Afghanistan can be an
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Lot of people are actually predicting Afghanistan. So that can be an interesting thing. So even Group C is interesting. Group C and Group D are
Yeah,
quite interesting.
true, true.
Uh,
Let's start.
okay. So New Zealand.
Came back in the to their senses, man. Seriously, I mean, before this, it was Saudi T20 captain. It never made any sense, uh, and he's also not
Yeah,
that a starter in
Hmm.
the
yeah.
team. And being a captain means it's like ridiculous. So,
But he's still
good.
there in the squad. That is
Yeah,
my
yeah.
Hmm.
only,
I'll come to
yeah,
that as well.
that's, yeah.
So they came to their senses and they must have told Kane, "Come on, man, this is your last tournament. Just go and do it. Like, be the
Hmm.
captain." We saw. So, give me a moment.
Yeah, even I think like Saudi, I don't know if he was needed right here because they have such great bowlers. They have Lockie Ferguson, they have Matt Henry,
Yeah,
Trent
yeah.
Bolt. Their pace
But
attack is so good. Hmm.
I'll come to that point, Shikhar.
Hmm.
But yeah, Kane ka last World Cup hai, so they asked him, and I think he obliged it.
Hmm.
And the way he led the teams for the past maybe 6 to 8 years, man. Seriously, he needs he already won a test WTC, but White Ball World Cup is if they win, it has to be Kane, man, because he has given so much to this New Zealand cricket in last 8 to 9 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
let's look
so
at
the
the other
first
points.
point, it's a risky statement because uh, these three are anchors in any team. Like
Hmm.
Conway, Kane, and Darrell. These are anchor guys, and all playing in that top five is like a
Hmm.
bit risky, I feel,
Hmm.
because Devin, he doesn't. I'm not sure when he gives that fiery start. Sometimes he randomly plays, gives fiery starts, and sometimes randomly slows down. I don't. We never know what we will be getting from Devon. Kane, it starts off slow, but I'm just worried that slowness might halt their progress in the middle overs. And Mitchell, this IPL, he has been worst player, man. I think you have even included him as a worst player in the
Yeah.
IPL. And then because of that, the second point I'm mentioning is Finn Allen, man. He is very crucial to this team now. That power play, if they have to score that 60 to 70 odd runs, he has to play at least 3 overs out of it. And that will, I'm not sure. That burden might back for New Zealand, I feel. What do you reckon, Shika? Like, he has to
Uh,
be the crucial player that will
I
score.
totally agree with you. I mean, Darrell Mitchell, Kane Williamson, and Devon Conway, all three are slow starters. Devon Conway can actually accelerate in the power play a little bit, but yes, there will be too much dependency on Finn Allen, as you rightly mentioned. Darrell Mitchell, only good point about Darrell Mitchell is he's a very good player of spin, and
Spin.
we can see a lot of spinning pitches in West Indies. He can hit that spin, and he's a very good fielder. I don't think his bowling will be required much, but he's a very good
Hmm.
fielder. He took 5 catches in the IPL in one match. So
But yeah,
yeah,
but every time he came with a you know, good stats before coming to the tournament in the previous World Cups. But this time he is very bad, man. I'm not sure how confidence he will be having coming into
I
this tournament.
I think Daryl Mitchell is still a good middle order batsman for New Zealand because in the recent series versus Pakistan, even though it was just Pakistan when they played in New Zealand, he uh, he did play well. But you have to understand that they were scoring 75 in the middle over 75 to 80
Hmm.
around. But
Yeah.
in this World Cup, total complexion of the game can change. It can be like people may be scoring 80 to 100 runs. So that's Manisha. What do you have to say about that?
No, I mean, I agreed. Like Daryl Mitchell is a world-class player. See, I mean, IPL, it was, we know it was horrible, but somehow they do perform when they play for their team, for their country.
Mm,
What I'm more concerned is the bowlers. I mean, Matt Henry is good. What I think
mm,
is now every other team has understood the way these bowlers are bowling. So nothing
mm,
is going to come as a surprise per se. So whether it is Ish Sodhi, whether it is Tim Saudi, even Lockie sometimes give lot of runs. So I really think who is going to be that clutch bowler? Maybe Bolt sometimes, but
mm,
Bolt
yeah,
and Santner will be
yeah, yeah,
having those. They have to be very crucial bowlers for them.
correct.
The third point, actually, I'll tell you, genuinely, I wrote that Saudi shouldn't be in the starting 11, but then I realized that it's West Indies pitches, slow pitches. So I felt maybe his experience might help them in those
mm,
overs, because he has very Loki, he doesn't have like deceiving slow balls. Like at least
mm,
Sodhi has those. Like that, if you see Sandeep in IPL, he has been deceiving those big batsmen with those slower ones. I think
mm.
Saudi might have that slower balls to play with in that West Indies pitches, and
I
it
I
might
will
be help.
slightly disagree with you, Vishnu, because I
Mhm.
think Loki has a very good slower ball. Also, what I think Loki is he's a very good middle overs bowler. Saudi, he will bowl only well in power play, but I don't think he can give any impact in middle over or the death over. If you have to
Mm.
defend some 15 runs in the last over, I don't think you can trust Saudi to defend those. So he's of no use. At least Loki will be able to bowl well in the middle overs, create some pressure. Because I've seen in this knockout kind of games, Loki always, like even in that RCB CSK match, if you see Loki bowled well in that match, or versus RR when GT were playing that final. So and against Dhoni also he was very good. And what happens
Yeah,
if Saudi plays is they lose out on playing one pacer for sure, because
Mm.
they will definitely play Matt Henry. I feel he's very good at death, and they
Yeah,
will
if
play
both.
if
Trent
Lock is not
Bolt.
there, all the bowlers are under 140 then 135. Yeah.
Mm.
Hmm.
Henry and Bolt will be playing. The only thing
Yeah,
what I see is like from this New Zealand management is they trust Saudi more than Loki, man. That's why
They
what
will play Saudi all
I've,
matches. Yeah,
yeah,
true.
man. Maybe
And
they will give.
yeah, just to add, this T20 World Cup feels like every other team is kind of giving a respect or some kind of farewell to their
Yeah.
experienced player. Like where we thought like JFM was not there because they wanted Warner to play.
yeah.
Then our team is there here, like Kohli, Sharma, and
Hmm.
all. Here also they could have been done with Saudi, but
Maybe they know the
somehow they.
inside scoop that pitches are going to be 160 pitches. I don't see any
Mm,
other explanation why they are playing such traditional cricket. I think they know that the pitches are going
Yeah,
to be 160, 170 ones. That's why they're taking all the legendary slow batters.
Hmm.
But
yeah.
we saw that earlier series between England and
Actually,
West Indies
you
where they
know
were
the
scoring
fun.
220 plus. But if that's
Yeah.
not going to happen, then playing guys like Mitchell, Kane, and Devon Conway is actually good if you are going to chase only 160.
Mm,
Hmm.
yeah. And in that Pakistan series in New Zealand, actually Saudi bowled really well in first two
Hmm.
games.
Oh,
That was a surprising thing.
But also, I think Ben Sears bowled really well. I am
yeah,
actually
yeah,
Mm.
Ben Stillers,
sad
he
that
deserved it.
he's missing. Yeah, he's
Actually, they
missing.
were invested too much in Jamison, but he's getting injured, man. That's the
Actually,
problem with
young
him.
New Zealand bowlers are unlucky because they play all the series, but then Trent Bolt comes in and play the World
Yeah,
Cups.
it's similar to Indians, man. Indian team is also same, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, this time
yeah.
Shami is injured, but yeah,
Yeah.
usually.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's move ahead then. Fair point on Saudi, and I mean that's actually a good discussion. Okay, so these are the matches. Oh my God, they have Afghanistan first up.
First game, that too on a slow pitch, man. I think it might be a turner. Afghanistan,
Oh,
oh, bro,
wow.
that can be a
yeah.
killer.
Yeah, Afghanistan is sure going to be pumped up. I mean, they have defeated
Yeah.
England back, Pakistan, and now I heard like Bravo is their he is part of their team.
Yes,
Coaching
yes.
staff,
So
yeah.
they are going to go crazy. They can upset
Yeah,
many.
especially this place will assist their spinners. And I hope they don't play two pacers and two spinners. No, no, please play more spinners. Use your strength.
Santner should be there at any cost for New
But they
Zealand.
have only
He is
two spinners, right? Santner and Sodia and Michael Bracewell maybe, but he's an all-rounder, so they have only
Yeah,
But
two.
on the other
Bracewell.
hand, New Zealand's spinners are also very underrated, but they are pretty good. So
yeah.
New Zealand
Mm,
can also go with three spinners in
Yeah,
all the
I
matches
think they beat India by spin two times in T20 World Cup.
in Nagpur. Yeah.
In Nagpur and also in was it Dubai? I think it was Dubai somewhere.
Dubai. That
Yeah,
Dubai
I
I never
mean,
count, man. It's totally
yeah,
dependent on toss.
even Bolt struck early with KL Rahul in the opening. So, yeah.
yeah. And I want to say even in that World Cup, Afghanistan, India were hoping that Afghanistan will beat New
Mm.
Zealand in the last match. That was the
Oh,
only hope, but it didn't
Yeah,
happen.
that was the one.
it's
Yeah,
so funny. Wow, you have good memory.
yeah, man.
And West Indies next, man. It will be, oh, bro, that the first two games only will decide their.
Yeah.
Mm.
This is a
But
challenging group for sure. Afghanistan will
yeah,
test both West Indies and New Zealand.
yeah.
Mm.
The problem with Afghanistan is they pick up late, man. So
Mm.
Blackcaps might be lucky that they are playing in the first game.
That's an excellent point. We saw how Afghanistan played their first game and then the rest of the games in the ODI World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very good point.
Yeah. Yeah.
so they might be lucky instead of playing
Yeah.
other games. They are playing Afghanistan.
Yeah,
But
first
yeah,
game
it
might
would.
be actually good.
Yes.
Playing Afghanistan.
For
True.
sure, it's going to be a challenge, but it is a challenge worth taking. When you
Mm,
have
Yeah.
played the best two from start only, you are going to be in
Oh,
that
yeah, that's an
confidence zone.
excellent
Yeah.
point because India and Pakistan are mostly playing weaker teams like
Yeah,
Canada,
exactly.
US, but New
yeah.
Zealand will be playing very two crucial games. Like they will have that survival kind of thing in the very first round itself, like do or die kind of situations.
And New
Mm,
So
Zealand
they will
start well. We have seen in ODI World Cup also they were something like 4 out of 4.
yeah.
They
five or
started
five
really well.
maybe, yeah, and then they start losing.
Even
Yeah.
never forget finale and innings against Australia in the first game, the last
Yes,
T20 World
yes.
Cup.
Yeah.
Everyone was like rooting to Australia. It's a Australia game, man. They're playing
New
at
Zealand was
home.
like RR in the last World Cup. They were at the top, then they barely qualified, and then they got knocked out.
Yeah,
Yeah, New Zealand actually beat Australia in Australia and almost knocked out. That was the reason actually Australia got knocked out of the own
knocked
World
out
Cup.
because of the run rate.
Let's see the
Yeah,
11.
And then, yeah, so to add to Manisha's point, like, yeah, they will have those tough contests in the first round itself, which will help them when they face India and Australia in the next round.
Mm,
yeah. Here, the openers are sorted, man. Conway and Allen will open.
mm, mm,
Williamson one down. Darrell will come.
mm,
Then it will be between Chapman and Ravindra, man. I think these guys will always give
mm.
Chapman chance in the beginning.
Yeah,
Ravindra will come so late. Has he performed also at this position?
Who?
I mean,
yeah.
Rachin Ravindra.
I think he's
Rachin.
at 1 or 2 series at this position.
Oh,
But
Mm.
Chapman is better. I also feel I'm also rooting for
He
Chapman.
scored a
maybe
century, I guess, right? In that Pakistan series. Pakistan?
Rachin
Yeah.
Ravindra.
No, no,
no,
No,
no.
Chapman.
yeah,
Chapman
Chapman
did.
scored
Chapman did.
87 of something. He scored something
He
88 or
won
something.
one match. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Remember.
So
Chapman is good.
Glenn Phillip, man. Glenn Phillip, they have
Finally,
to
will
manage
play a
him.
match.
Finally, after all those gymming and pumping iron in the gym, he's going to play for World
Even
Cup.
Williamson, we can say that to Williamson as well. He was also sitting in the dugout.
So was
So,
Conway.
guys,
I
I
mean,
am still
Conway was
seeing the
already.
fixtures
Yeah.
slide.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I see
Yeah.
the squad. Yeah, okay.
So
Mm.
then it will be an
Nisham
interesting
is
pick for them. Bracewell and
yeah,
Nisham, they are very similar kind of batsmen, but
true.
they're medium pacer and spinner.
Yeah.
So Bracewell,
Mm.
I don't know whether they
I
will
would
take
not
a.
like to be in the selector's seat, man. This is such a tough
So
call. I
true.
love both the
So
players.
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I
That's
mean,
a
Both
tough
are
had
call.
it
very
been
impactful.
Tom Latham, I would have like, but it is I love both Nisham and Bracewell.
I
Oh God.
still can't forget
Hmm.
that Bracewell innings against India, man. In
140,
India.
yeah, single-handedly he took close
Single-handedly.
to the target.
After that only, I think he got injured.
And then Jimmy Neesham is so unlucky, like he's always there in the
Yes.
clutch moments, but New Zealand still,
Still loses
play,
it.
they don't
I
play him
think
frequently.
because they made Bracewell captain for that Pakistan tour, they may actually go with Bracewell because he was made
Fair point.
captain in that tour, right?
Yeah.
Neesham
Yeah.
might have to wait his turn. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, they have three paces, right? So I think they needed that extra
I
spinner.
forgot if Jimmy Neesham also bowls. I forgot.
Yeah. So
Does
they
he bowl?
already will play three spaces, right? So
I,
maybe they will.
yeah.
Uh,
Very good point, Vishnu. Very good point. I think if they play with two pacers, if they drop if they drop Ferguson, or if they
Saudi.
play with two pacers, they will play Nisham. Otherwise,
mhm.
they are going to play with this lineup
Use
only.
Bracewell spin. Yeah, they'll
And
use
Bracewell.
Bracewell
even
spin.
they might rely on Bracewell to give those 2 overs, and maybe Glenn Phillip also might come into
Yeah, Glenn
play for
Phillip
the
can do
ball.
the job of Bracewell. Actually,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
can spin.
So they
May
might
not be as
be
good, but
having,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, two overs. Eh,
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Manisha.
No, I was just saying I really want to see Glenn Phillip bowl. I mean, I forgot which series was that, but the guy just came and he took wickets. Nobody was able to take wickets, and that guy. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like I want to
Yeah,
see
this
him.
New Zealand team has so many part-timers option. That's why they're so lucky.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Ravindra is
highly
there, Mitchell
doubtful
is there.
if Sodhi will be on bench, considering they have so much respect for Sodhi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. They
man.
used to play him even against Fakar Zaman.
Yeah,
Actually, more than bowling, he did very well with his bat recently.
batting. He's a good batter also.
Oh wow,
Yeah, he
Yeah.
I didn't
did.
know
I did not know that.
that.
No, no,
He performed
he won them one game versus Bangladesh. I remember that
right.
he scored some very crucial 50 or something versus Bangladesh.
Oh my God, wow.
I mean, if the
Yeah,
conditions allow for another spinner, then I guess, yeah, one fast bowler has to make way for Sodhi. So that will be condition dependent call, I think.
Hmm.
right, right. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know how confident they are with Glenn Phillip and Bracewell to ball. If
They
they are
should be
not,
pretty confident. They have done
And look at their
decently.
Super 8 fixtures. It's India, Australia, two of the biggest
Yeah.
dragons in the den. They have to face. I mean, if they qualify out of that group, India and Australia is going to be tough. I mean,
But if you
I
Yes.
look at
should.
recent performance in the T20 World Cups for New Zealand against India and Australia, it has been fairly good. Against Australia, I
mm,
know they lost the finals in that
Yeah.
Dubai World Cup,
Yeah, yeah.
but they were unbelievable in the last World Cup. At home, they thrashed Australia. So yeah, if I was New Zealand, I will still fancy my chances, even though it's a tough second round.
yeah,
Yeah,
if they, yeah, it will be a very tough fixture for India and New Zealand, man.
I
It
think they
will
are
be
going to
very.
lose all three. I think they are going to lose all three.
India and Australia will be praying that Afghanistan will be coming in place of New Zealand.
No, no, no. They will not be praying that. They will be praying for
They'll
New
not
Zealand
be
only.
No, no, no.
Zealand.
India and Australia have the wood over Afghanistan, but they don't have that wood over
No,
New
but
Zealand.
Afghanistan is can surprise. New Zealand is predictable to some extent. Like they know what they are going to
But
get.
Shikhar, I
Mm,
also feel the problem of, I mean, we'll discuss anyways if you and we have Afghanistan do lack nerves. They
Yeah.
somehow perish
Hmm.
when in the big game, in the big
I
match.
still some
That
days
is
cannot believe that they lost that match when Maxwell played that
that
200
is
innings.
not what New Zealand is made of. New Zealand,
mm,
even the final they choke, whatever, but till then they just give their everything.
And New Zealand is
So
very experienced players, so if they are in advantage position, they know how to finish the games. But Afghanistan don't.
yes.
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. It would be very interesting to see the group stages. I saw Shikhar saying it might be boring, but when you see the fixtures, it might not be, right.
Mhm.
It can
Yeah. That's
tough
what I was
for
saying
some games.
initially, Vishnu. Group C and Group D are very interesting. With New Zealand,
Mm,
West Indies, Afghanistan, and with Sri Lanka, Netherlands, South Africa, Bangladesh.
Bangladesh.
That do those two groups I will be following very keenly. Even if I have to wake up at 6 a.m., I'll be following those two groups. But yeah,
Yeah.
other Group A and Group B are boring. Actually, England, Australia,
Yeah,
India,
True.
Pakistan,
True.
straightforward. But
yeah,
I want
true.
to say to my viewers that we are the only cricket group that knows the Super 8 fixtures. That's how we are going to, and thanks to Pratik for some research into that, we already know what is going to be the Super 8 fixtures. So if you're following
Right,
our preview, you should check our India Pakistan preview also, because we have already said what matches are going to happen.
right. Yeah, yeah. Let's go to the next
Let's
slide.
go forward.
Okay, first, strengths I'm talking about is like Bolt and Henry. These combination, it always gives me that nervy thing of 2019 semifinals, man.
Hmm.
These guys are proper lethal guys when it comes to the clutch situations. Then experience Kane and Conway bring to the team. Sometimes I feel two anchors in top three might not be good, and sometimes I feel like okay, maybe experience might help them in those pitches to play though. You know, you need sometimes in those slow pitches, you these guys need to that experience counts, like they can assess in couple of overs what good score can be for the team, and that might help in the big stages in the Super 8. And underdogs title, man, no pressure, nothing. You
Yeah.
will just go out and play your natural game. You won't have to uh literally when you go back home, there won't be no one waiting with the media to bash you guys. That's the positive thing you will ever see. Not like in Asian teams where the media is ready to bash you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and then next one is weaknesses, too many anchors. Uh, Maybe Conway and Kane, but I'm not sure. Daryl, uh, I'm a bit worried because of his out of form for the entire IPL. But I'm not sure when he wears that black jersey. That's
Yeah,
it.
he's a different
He
player.
gets it's complete. Maybe he gets that trust from the team and all.
Hmm.
And then here, trust Chapman inclusion and Rachin might lose his place. Chapman gets more favorism, I feel, sometimes even,
Hmm.
and Rachin also didn't do well in IPL, so
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so I think Chapman will be getting that nod. And then
Hmm.
most of the players either coming with bad form or never played T20s recently, like the
Hmm.
top four actually, Finn Allen, Conway, Kane, and Darrell. Either
Hmm.
they are in bad form or never played in last 3 months.
I just
Hmm.
So,
have a one fun thing to say, okay, guys.
mhm,
Hmm.
So, you just said right now, Vishnu, right? Like most of them are just coming from a bad form.
mhm,
And same with our Indian players, right? Whoever got selected, nobody
Yeah.
kind of like perform. And I see
does
that we could not change the India to New Zealand. That shows how New Zealand and India are like
Same.
always you cannot take them
Yeah.
away from each other.
At
And
They're
least
like
what?
opportunity mein he has written motivation to win their first white ball ICC World Cup trophy. I feel that is like India also. Even though it's not
yeah,
their first, it almost
is it like
feels
they've
like
just rewrote?
It's been more than 10
it's been
years,
11
right?
years now. Come on, it's
That's
like
a very good opportunity point. Yeah, like it's hard to believe they
Yeah,
haven't won their
true.
white ball
It,
trophy
it's
yet.
like two friends. It's like not friends like the any enemies type who's saying, "Tu ja, you go," and in the time third person comes and overcrosses them. Like
That's
both of
Australia.
them
The
don't
third
go.
person is Australia.
Both of
and
them don't
thanks to
go.
Actually,
WTC, thanks to ICC introducing WTC, they actually won something. Otherwise, they would have been like South Africa only.
and one more thing point which is quite similar is their T20 captain was announced as Saudi for going forward, and then they replaced with Kane.
Just like Hardik Pandya.
Yeah. Oh man, there are so many similarities. And the opportunity for them is to manage Glenn Phillip, man. I think they
Hmm.
had to send him up the order when it's needed. You can't give them like six, send him six down and expect him to score 40 or 50 odd runs in 30, 20 balls. You need to give
Yeah,
him
just
more
like
chance.
India, for India, Sky is the most important person. I think Glenn Phillips is the most important person. He showed his prowess. He's the only player to hit two back-to-back centuries in a World Cup. He did that in
Right.
the last World Cup, so
Hmm.
he has to play at three or four somehow. I don't know how will that happen, but
Yeah.
And they need his fielding also. I think he's one of the best fielders in the world. So
Right.
they need his
He's just a
fielding also.
bird.
If he plays in the right position, he might be the MVP for this
Mm,
Yeah.
World Cup.
Hmm.
And to
true.
be, I mean, to be very fair, also, like New Zealand have got such good fielders. Like it's
Yeah,
Glenn
yeah.
Phillips, even Bolt,
That's another
Jim
aspect we don't
Neesham,
talk
Gavin
about.
Mitchell.
Yeah.
Such good fielders, man.
And I think
Uh,
that first match versus Afghanistan, if anyone can really take on Rashid Khan and Noor Ahmed and all these people, it can be Glenn Phillips. I think
Glenn
he's the
Phillips.
one who can
mm,
take on. I know Mitchell and Williamson will score maybe 8 per over or something. They can score 7, 8 per over. But if someone can take them, it's Glenn Phillips, definitely.
To
Yeah.
Manisha's point, I think that's why a lot of crunch matches Asian teams lose against New Zealand because New Zealand don't drop catches in pressure, but Asian teams do. So
Yeah, New Zealand is a team where if you lose like 2, 3 wickets in the power play, they will kill it. Kill it with the
I've seen
fielding.
Bolt dropping a catch only when he plays for RR.
And
Yeah.
when they played final against England.
Yeah, that was the biggest drop. So that was drop plus 6 runs.
6 runs. Yeah.
And
And
Bolt, I think one thing that you have missed, Vishnu, one strength I just want to say is Trent Bolt. You have written Bolt and Henry actually, but I
mm,
just especially want to mention Trent Bolt is in great form. And
yeah,
if the ball swings in US or Windies, wherever they play, if the ball swings there, uh, he's the best power play bowler ever in the history of cricket. So he can do whatever
I
with the
think
with the
I
ball.
think he's the only player who is coming into this World Cup with proper form for the New Zealand. Like he
Yeah,
is
Actually, yeah.
he has bowled really well for her. I didn't want to write entire statement there, so
yeah.
I know someone will
And you
bring this
see
up.
his spell versus RCB like 3 overs 6 runs. If
Right.
someone can just neutralize like that, then your game is already over. I mean,
Yeah.
it's over.
And then no one talked
Even
about center, but he might be the best spinner in the tournament. Again, like don't discount him out. He will bowl 4 overs, 20 for 2 any day easily. So
yeah,
he's a
he
very
always
clever
has
customer.
been. He always has been. He's a
yeah.
good. Yeah.
And when he faces India, we'll respect him way too much. So
Yeah. Let's move to prediction, guys. 5 minutes left. Let's get into the.
I will. Okay, this is just
Okay.
the
So no one
Yeah.
has picked New Zealand among the experts. Okay, Rambati
only one
Raidu.
person picked.
Ambati
Only
Yeah,
Raidu
Raidu.
has picked.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, we are talking about this in our preview. That preview also nobody picked
Mm.
Yeah,
except.
I agree with best bowler Bolt and best batsman Glenn Phillips. That's
I will say
there.
Santner and Phillips.
Santner. Yeah.
Santner
Santner
and
can be.
Phillips. Who is bowler and who is batsman? Acha, Santner is bowler. Okay. Got it. Both are all rounders actually. Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
For me it is Santner and Kane Williamson.
Oh,
Okay.
Final
Yeah.
T20 World Cup. So he
Yeah.
needs to perform.
So only
Yeah.
Ambati Raidu picked New Zealand. No one else is picked. Let's go to our prediction, guys.
Okay.
semi-final. I'm not going to be like those experts. I am going to rate New Zealand high this time. I'm going to give them the credit for the good game they have shown in the last few years on the world stage.
Hmm.
Semi-finals for me. Semi-finalists.
Semi-finals. Okay.
Vishnu and Manisha also agree with you. And
Shikar is predicting they will lose all the games since the
they will
third.
lose all Super 8 games.
He's already gone.
I'm predicting they'll lose all Super 8 games, even to Sri Lanka. I think if Sri Lanka or
God.
Afghanistan, I don't know who comes out of that. If Sri Lanka comes, they'll lose to Sri Lanka. I
This
feel.
is
This is a
harsh.
funny trend. Like Shikhar and Kunal are predicting the same thing, but rest of the members are not agreeing with them.
Yeah,
I
man.
don't know what Shreyans predicted for the Indo-Pak. I mean, India. He
Yeah,
I,
predict.
he didn't predict at that time.
He
So
predicted
Okay.
yeah,
yeah.
Manisha, when you go next, I think you or Kunal going next. I think you should also show the prediction for India and Pak here. So we will just add
Okay.
this. Yeah. So when you do this, it should be India, Pak, New Zealand, and England.
Ah,
Like,
understood.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
right.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good.
But yeah, man. I think they don't have the firepower. That's basically the crux of the matter is they don't have the firepower. Australia they could manage it in Australia because the pitches were bouncing. They were favoring bowlers a little bit. But here I think I know you said Santner is a good spinner, but I think yeah, he can be smashed. So I
So
think
Shikhar, if India and New Zealand faces in that round two, you are backing India, right?
yeah, against New Zealand, I'll back India. I'll
He's
back India.
backing Sri Lanka also. What do you think? Like everybody will.
Yeah, I think
What is
Vanindu
left to ask?
Hasaranga will take them out. He's the one-man army of Sri Lanka.
Actually, that
They,
is the funny thing. Like, if in that group between India, Australia, New Zealand, and Sri Lanka, there is a chance Sri Lanka might go to the semis.
if you hear
Might be.
Devanshu's confident, you guys are missing the morning
Final.
chats. You should
Yeah,
see
yeah.
Devanshu's confidence in Sri Lanka and Vanindu Hasaranga.
Yes.
He's so yeah, confident that Sri Lanka will win the World Cup. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they have a very good team, just that the lack of firepower in the end, they might
Mm.
miss out on the 20 extra runs in the if they are batting first.
I
Hmm.
But
think one thing
yeah,
they can do is send Glenn Phillips or Chapman at four because I think they are very good hitters. If they can send
Exactly.
these people at four and not send Daryl Mitchell at four, then I think they
Hmm.
can counter. They can one guy can
True.
play anchor, one guy can play hitter. But I think they are going to
Yes.
send both Chapman and Phillips at five and six. That's going to be the problem. I think that's the problem.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because Kane, Darrell Mitchell, they will occupy 3, 4, and you have only Finn Allen, who is a very out and out aggressive player. You have again Devon Conway is a good player. He can actually manage as per the situation. But
Do you
yeah,
remember
still,
when Devon Conway made his debut? He was like, for some time, he was averaging over 17 T20s. Like,
Yeah.
he used to play those big innings. If he
Yeah.
can come back to his best, like, he can just carry the tournament
yeah. But
again.
yeah. I mean,
he
he
is
was
not.
phenomenal in that
Mm,
Dubai World Cup. He was very good. He
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
play the final. Hmm.
Yes. Yes.
yeah, yeah. Hand injury, something about. But yeah, it's a good team. But yeah,
Hmm.
semifinals is my prediction. But I'm not sure. Let's see how it goes. So
Yeah.
we
Go
never
Black
know. They might.
Caps.
We never know. They might go out in the group stages only. We
Even
never
if
know.
my prediction comes wrong, I won't be too unhappy because I love Black Caps. I love New
Nobody
Zealand.
is unhappy
Yeah,
when New Zealand
When
goes.
Black
Yeah.
Caps succeed. Yeah. Their success makes you happy. That's the kind of
yeah,
team
true.
they
See, again, round one will be very tricky because they will be dependent on other teams also. So imagine a scenario where